She came with her certificates. She left with something nobody planned for. This is the story of Ovie, the copper who walked into a hotel and set the whole place on fire without striking a single match.
Now, before we go any further, let's be honest. God took his time with this woman. Tall, fair-skinned like the first light of sunrise over the delta, curves that made men forget their own names, busts that made women suck their teeth in jealousy, and a face so clean and innocent that you'd think she had never known a single trouble in this world. She adjusted her white NYSC cap, grabbed her bag, and stepped off that bus. And the world paused. A roadside bread seller forgot to collect his change. A keke driver nearly ran into a gutter. Two men crossing the street bumped into each other, both looking back at her at the same time.
Jesus, every posting is the same.
She arrived at the hotel on a Monday, and from the moment those glass doors slid open and Ovie stepped inside, nothing in that hotel was ever the same again.
Good morning. Copper? You say you are a copper?
Yes, I have my posting letter.
Yes. Welcome. God bless NYSC. Guide that girl a human being? Lower your voice before Madam Atta hear you.
She was assigned to the front desk, customer relations, the face of the hotel. Of course she was. Within her first week, 3 male customers left their business cards with personal messages scribbled on the back. One read, "Anything you need, just call. I mean anything." She tore it quietly and dropped it in the bin. By the second week, one of the senior bartenders, a man old enough to be her father, slid an envelope across the reception counter.
That's 50,000 naira. Just let me take you to dinner. Nothing more.
Sir, please take your envelope. I'm working.
You're a sharp girl. I like that. Just think about...
Take your envelope, sir.
By the end of her first month, Ovie had become the most talked about person in that hotel. Not because she sought attention, but because attention haunted her. She was polite, she was professional, she was kind, but she had a wall around her that nobody could seem to climb. Then came the ones who tried a different strategy: love. A young hotel guest, a sharp-looking man in an expensive agbada, began visiting the front desk daily. He brought her a mango one day, a small perfume the next. He spoke about his business, his future, his connection with her.
Blessing, is this man not married? Ovie, he has a wife and 3 children. I served them breakfast last Sunday.
Good afternoon, sir. How is your wife and children? I hope they enjoyed their stay.
Wicked, or?
I'm not wicked, I'm just awake.
It was in her 6th week at Golden Crest, 6 full weeks of surviving stares, envelopes, fake love, and foolish proposals, that the door to the hotel lobby opened one afternoon, and in walked the man nobody warned her about. Not because he was dangerous, but because he was different. Sir Bobby, 26 years old, the hotel manager. Now, when women describe Bobby, they never start with his looks, though Lord knows the man was something to behold. Dark skin, smooth like polished ebony, tall with a quiet kind of authority. He dressed sharp but not showy. He spoke softly, the kind of soft that made you lean in just to catch his words. And when Bobby smiled, it arrived slowly, like it was a decision he made deliberately, like he was choosing you to receive it. But it wasn't his face that undid women, it was his mind. He walked through the lobby that afternoon doing what he always did, moving through the hotel like a captain inspecting his ship, greeting staff by name, noticing details, a smudge on the glass door, a flower vase tilted 2 inches off center, a guest sitting alone who looked confused. He stopped at the front desk.
Good afternoon. You must be the new copper.
Yes, sir. Ovie. I've been here 6 weeks now, sir.
6 weeks. How are you finding it?
Interesting, sir.
Just interesting?
Very interesting, sir.
Good. Let me know if you need anything adjusted in your schedule.
Ovie, do you know who that is?
The manager.
Not just the manager. That is Sir Bobby.
Sir Bobby?
Every female staff in this hotel has tried that man. Everyone. He doesn't shake. He doesn't even look. He is the most serious man in Warri.
Good for him.
She genuinely was not interested, but the problem with truly not being interested in someone, it makes you completely relaxed around them, natural, yourself. And there is nothing in this world more attractive than a person who wants absolutely nothing from you. Over the following weeks, Bobby began to notice small things about Ovie that nobody else seemed to see. The way she remembered every regular guest's name and preference without writing it down. The way she diffused a furious customer one afternoon with just 3 sentences and a calm that even Bobby stopped working and watched. The way she stayed 15 minutes after her shift, not for overtime, just to make sure the handover was clean. He started stopping at her desk more often, not to flirt, just to talk.
You handled that situation with the German guest today well. Where did you learn that?
I didn't learn it anywhere. I just listened to him. Most angry people just want someone to hear them.
This became their routine. Small conversations, professional at first, then a little longer, a little warmer. Bobby would ask her opinion on hotel operations, genuinely ask, not as small talk, and Ovie would give him sharp, clean answers that sometimes even surprised herself. By her 3rd month, the whole hotel staff had noticed.
Ovie, I'm your friend. Tell me the truth. What is happening between you and Oga Bobby?
Nothing, Blessing.
Nothing? He has never in 2 years stood at that front desk for more than 1 minute. Last Thursday, he was there for 25 minutes. I counted. You counted? This is serious, Ovie. Do you know what the other girls are saying?
What are they saying?
They are saying you have used something on him. That the copper cannot just come and capture the manager with ordinary conversation. They say you have. Blessing. If I wanted to use a man, I would have used one of the ones who came waving envelopes at me. Tell them I said so.
It happened on a Friday, the end of her 14th week at Golden Crest. And it didn't happen the way these things usually happen in stories like this, with scheming or seduction. It happened because of a flooding staff quarters, a generator fault, and a conversation that simply refused to end. Heavy rain had been hammering the city since afternoon. The female staff quarters had a roof leak so bad that 3 rooms were completely flooded. Emergency maintenance was called, girls were shuffled around, and Ovie, caught in the chaos, was still in the administrative wing late in the evening trying to sort out the accommodation issue with paperwork. Bobby was working late, as he always did. He found her at a table in the corridor outside his office, surrounded by files, looking exhausted.
Why are you still here?
Trying to sort out the accommodation allocation for the girls whose rooms got flooded.
Come inside the office. You can use the desk. It's more comfortable.
I'm fine here, sir.
Ovie, come inside.
Someone brought tea to the office. Bobby had quietly called for it. An hour passed, then 2. Then somewhere around the 3rd hour, the files were done, the rain had softened, and somehow neither of them was leaving.
Can I ask you something personal?
You can ask.
How are you really doing here? Not work. You, how are you doing?
Honestly,
Honestly.
I'm managing. I came here thinking NYSC would just be 12 months to survive, but it's been harder than I expected. Not the work. The work is fine. It's just people seeing you a certain way, wanting things from you, making you feel like your value is only one thing.
For what it's worth, in all the time I have watched you work, I have only ever seen your mind first.
That means more than you know.
They talked and talked and talked about family, about ambition, about the weight of being young and capable in a country that often only rewards connection over competence. Bobby talked about the pressure of managing a hotel owned by a woman who watched everything, Madame Arthur, and how he had learned to work twice as hard just to stay unquestionable. Ovie talked about her mother back home who prayed every morning that her daughter would be safe. The clock hit midnight. Neither of them had noticed.
Ovie.
Midnight.
The lodge is just behind this wing. You can't go back to the quarters now. It's past curfew and the roads are still bad.
Bobby.
I know.
He did know, and she knew he knew, and they both knew that what was happening between them had nothing to do with rank or the hotel or NYSC. It was just 2 people. 2 people who had been circling each other for 14 weeks, saying everything with caution, and tonight, the caution had simply run out. What happened inside that lodge that night? I'll leave to your imagination. But what I will tell you is this. When morning came, Ovie sat at the edge of the bed, wrapping her scarf around her head in the pale early light, and Bobby leaned on the doorframe, watching her, with an expression on his face that even he
couldn't name yet.
Ovie,
Don't say anything that will ruin last night.
I was going to say be careful going back to the quarters. The part is still wet.
Now, while all of this warmth and midnight conversation was blooming between Bobby and Ovie, somewhere on the third floor of that hotel, in an office with cameras feeding into 4 monitors on her wall, Madam Atto was watching. Madam Atto was not a woman you could easily describe. She was somewhere past 50, but carried herself like time had simply decided to negotiate with her instead of aging her. She wore power the way other women wore perfume, constantly and in every room. She had built Golden Crest with her own hands, her own money, and the sheer terrifying force of her ambition. She trusted no one easily. She watched everything. And she had, for 2 years, watched Bobby. Not as a boss watching an employee, as a woman watching a man.
Good morning, Ma.
Chidi, the corporate at the front desk. What is her name?
Ovie, Ma. She was posted from...
I know where she was posted from. I signed the acceptance letter. How long has she been spending time in Bobby's section after hours?
Ma, I'm not entirely...
Chidi.
3 weeks, Ma.
Bring me her performance report.
Now, here is where the story gets complicated. Because Ovie's performance report was spotless. Guest satisfaction scores had gone up at the front desk. 3 customers had written in specifically praising her by name. Her punctuality record was perfect. There was nothing Madam Atto could use. And Madam Atto knew it.
So, that's how it is.
And that's, my people, is where the real story begins. Because Madam Arthur was not the kind of woman who lost gracefully. And Bobby, sweet, brilliant, unaware Bobby, had no idea that the most dangerous thing in Golden Crest Hotel was not a guest, not a competitor, not a flood or a generator fault. It was a powerful woman who had decided she wanted something and had just realized someone else had gotten there first.